What's up, SASS Squad? You're locked into season 2 of the Sport and Society Squad pod, aka the SASS. We drop new episodes every 2 weeks to keep you in the loop on the biggest and boldest moments where sports meets society. So gear up and get ready to dive deep into the stories that matter most, at least to us. As a quick reminder, this pod might feature some spicy language and bold takes. Please be mindful of where and who you are listening with. All right, let's kick this off. I'm Arisan, here with my co-hosts Wahida and Chelsea. How we doing, Sasquatch?
Oh, you
Sasquatch?
know,
Sasquatch.
surviving
Tis the
Sasquatch
season. Yeah,
Tis the
surviving
season.
Sasquatch.
And the atmospheric river that we just experienced this
Ugh,
weekend. Oh my God.
hated it.
Hate it. But I think we're in store for more. So buckle up,
Yay.
y'all. I
Can't
know,
wait.
fun.
Is that real? Okay.
Anyway, but for a little spot of sunshine, I'm going to take us through this week's huddle, which will cover sport and society highlights from the past 2 weeks for you, our listeners, so you can feel like you're in the know with the sport and pop culture world. No deep dives, just hits and all the things you need to know to stay in the loop. So let's kick it off with the top sports moments from this past week. In baseball news, the Women's Pro Baseball League, or the WPBL, announced the launch of its league, making it the only professional women's baseball league in America. Competition is set to begin in the summer of 2026. Also, want to just send some love to our MLB team. You made us proud. We can't wait for next season. Thank you, boys.
The Seattle Mariners.
The Seattle
Yes.
Mariners.
Go Mariners.
Bless you. Thank
but
you.
just a little piece with the Women's Pro Baseball League. There are currently only 4 teams, I think, that are going to be starting up. So it'll be, I believe, San Francisco, New York, Boston, and LA,
Yep, that sounds right.
perhaps. But
Was the other one
hopefully-
Miami? No, I'm crazy for that.
I don't know, but only 4 for now. But perhaps
More to come.
more to come. Hopefully, would
That's
love a
quick.
Seattle team. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in football news, New York Giants rookie running back Cam Skattebo dislocated his right ankle and was carted off the field against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday, October 26th, sending healing vibes to Cam and I think a lot of other people who got injured this past weekend.
So
Good
many
thoughts to
people.
anyone who had him in
Yeah.
his fantasy league.
Want to send first, that really is unfortunate for them as players and their body.
100%.
Also, it's been rough as a fantasy player. I swear to God, I look at I'm like, how do I still have like out people? So many people are injured, and I'm like, I don't even know what to do anymore.
It's also rough because I feel like so many rookies have gotten injured this year
Mm.
already. And I don't know if I'm
Oh.
just more keen to that, but is that we got something connected to something else? I don't know.
Is that
but
typical? I don't know.
Anyway, sending love to Cam. I know he's gonna come back tough
I
as
don't know how to do it
hell
like the
next
kids.
year.
Oh.
Okay, moving forward, this one's a little bit of a heater. The FBI just called game over on insider betting. Looks like some NBA figures who were playing fast and loose with the spread, and now they're facing full court press from federal agents. With
That's
34
right.
people indicted, including Terry Rozier, who has been in some legal trouble before, and Chauncey Billups, who is the Portland Trailblazers coach. This scandal's gotten more layers than a playbook, and it's still unfolding. So stay tuned, as this could be a buzzer beater topic for a future episode. I
That's
also want to say,
insane.
I think Adam Silver recently got called in by the NBA or the FBI.
That's the head guy, right?
Yeah, the
Yes.
commish.
commish.
Can I also do like a shameless plug that like if anyone was watching I always get confused. Murders in the Building with Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, Marty Short. They had like a weird mafia twist this season. So I'm like, whoa, why is the mafia coming for us again? Like, I don't know. It feels weird.
Did the mafia ever leave? I think they were always around.
I don't know. I feel like they were quiet for a little bit.
I'm really interested to see how this shakes out. I think betting in general has become unhinged. I just heard recently that now players can bet on like WNBA players and their menstrual cycles, which is super fucked up.
What the
Yes,
fuck?
they're placing bets on like if they think someone's, like, competing
Nah.
on when they're on their cycle because that's gonna change their performance and X, Y, and Z,
Well,
and so just betting in general is getting out of pocket, and that's the legal side, so
we'll have to cover this more because I also just read that the NCAA passed a rule where staff and faculty and students can bet on professional sports. So
No.
it's all coming to a head. A lot of things are just like dipping their fingers and toes into betting. And
I
the
hate it.
irony is that as ESPN was reporting this, their ticker at the bottom of the screen was like sponsored by one of the big like draft
DraftKings or
sport.
something.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
okay.
So it's
Okay.
everywhere. We opened Pandora's box when they started allowing betting on these games. Anyway,
Please bet
we'll cover more of
responsibly
that. Mhm.
Yeah.
if you can.
But in some sad football news, former NFL center Nick Mangold has passed away at the age of 41, so young, due to complications from kidney disease. He anchored the Jets' offensive line for over a decade and was a seven-time Pro Bowler. His passing is a powerful reminder for us all. Take care of your health, get regular checkups, and don't ignore signs. Your body's the most important team you've got. It's very true.
It's
Sorry, that was
true.
not laughing. I'm just Chelsea. I love the notes.
Hey,
Yeah, and you know
it's a
what?
good reminder. 41. That's
Me
young
too.
as
41's very
hell.
young.
Yeah,
And you
it
know
is.
what?
It's
Shout out that I know the Jets have been having a hard time this season. They won their first game this past weekend. So maybe that was for Nick. Maybe the
mm,
team owner just really pissed off their quarterback. Who knows? But they got their first win. So good going, Jets. In
Let's go, Jets.
WNBA coaching news, the Seattle Storm have hired Sonia Roman as their head coach. And that also means she is the first coach of Indian descent in the WNBA as a head coach. She also comes from the
Huge.
NBA. So she has a lot of fans all over the basketball world already. So we're excited to have her on the team. And then also Sandy Brandello, formerly with the New York Liberty, was hired by the Toronto Tempo, and the Portland Fire announced new coach Alex Sarama. So lots of movement happening in the WNBA, and we're excited
lots
for a
of
new coach.
we're excited for a new coach, lots of movement, and there is no head Black woman basketball coach. Alex
Yes.
is a white male. He's coming from the NBA, and I've heard a lot of interesting things about people coming over from the NBA, especially when you've got men coming over the NBA. And also, Dallas Wings just hired a new coach who's coming from a white male, coming from the college basketball world. And so it's really interesting. A lot of changes. There's not controversy, talks around what this means
For
for
the league.
the league and just, yeah, more to
Yeah.
come.
Well,
Okay.
it'll be interesting to see what happens next season with everything that's happening this off season, and then also everything that's happening this current season with the NBA. That
Yeah,
is,
Jesus.
the umbrella
Yeah.
funder right now for
I
the
mean, they might
WNBA.
be all
So
in
we'll
jail
see.
next time this year.
Right.
This time
Like
next year,
what?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What league? What are you talking about? But anyway, some things for
The
us to keep an
NBA
eye on.
foils.
But while we do that, let's kick it over to society. In movie news, Coleman Domingo has been revealed as the Cowardly Lion in
Huh.
Wicked for Good after director John M. Chu slid into his DMs with a casting pitch. And Domingo responded with a roar, unveiling the role in a new cheeky Instagram video surrounded by plush lions and signing off with "See you in Oz." We're excited to see Coleman when the film hits theaters in November. So
I
November
love that.
21st.
Yeah, I
Exciting.
love that. So fun.
So
I still
he,
want to know who Dorothy is.
I still haven't seen the first one.
yeah, me
Okay, well,
neither. But
you're
I
gonna
know
have
the
a chance
story.
this November for a double feature in theaters,
Like
and
a 5-hour
I'll go
movie
with
here.
you.
Okay.
I might,
Yeah,
if it's
I'll
five
go.
hours,
We
might be
can make it a
longer than that.
Saturday.
It
Yeah.
could be 6.
Yeah.
As long as we go to one of those theaters where you can get, like, alcohol and get some wine.
And lay down,
And lay
maybe,
down.
like where
Yeah.
they
Have
bring
a
a
little
blanket.
lay.
Yep.
And you better not
Okay,
fall
so
asleep.
can't make any promises there. But
Yeah.
in music news, R&B royalty is hitting the road. New Edition, Boyz II Men, and Toni Braxton are all teaming up for the New Edition Way tour. I have some thoughts around that title. A 30-city concert experience kicking off January 28th, 2026 in Oakland, California. And the reason why I have some thoughts is because,
It
yes,
should be
I
called the
get
Tony Braxton.
right. Like, Boyz II Men also founded New Edition. No, actually, no, vice versa. Sorry, I lied. But they essentially, I read that they were all supposed to be on stage at the same time. So I'm curious to see what that means. Like,
Wow.
they're not doing like, oh, one performer and then another. They're all on stage at once, is what my understanding is. So it's really interesting that New Edition gets the headlining name for the tour.
It feels like they're trying to make the ticket prices worth it for us. Like, I read that as, oh, you're going to pay $700? Three different people?
The
All
New
at
Thanks.
Edition.
once.
It just one I don't know New Edition, so that's
Isn't that Bobby Brown? Am I crazy for that?
No, that is Bobby Brown and Johnny Gill and Belle Biv DeVoe,
Candy
Poison.
Girl.
Those three
Okay.
came
Are my
from New
world.
Edition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I
that's
feel like
helpful.
you know them. You probably know some of their songs,
Yeah.
but big
Yeah.
group. I will send you their YouTube docu-series. It was really well casted. Anyway,
Alright.
in more music news and some sad news, we're
Mm.
mourning the loss of D'Angelo, the Grammy-winning soul pioneer whose voice redefined a generation. He passed at the age of 51, which is also still very young, after a courageous battle with cancer. But his music will echo forever, sending love to his family and friends and everyone that was
That's
influenced
terrible.
by him. Yeah,
So
yeah,
sad.
sad one. But I hope that means there's a resurgence of neo soul because that was a great era. But moving on in TV news, Dylan Efron, yes, Zac Efron's baby bro, he broke his nose rehearsing for Dancing with the Stars, which proves once and for all that ballroom isn't just about fancy footwork; it's
What?
full contact choreography. It is. We hope you feel better, Dylan.
Insane.
Wait.
He broke his fucking nose in rehearsal.
What, did he
So does
just,
that
like, fall in his face? Or did
No, I
he
think his
not catch
partner
one?
I think they had
punched
a
him?
collision. Yeah.
So does that mean he's still performing? He's gonna wear like a Batman like face mask?
I
Sure.
don't know. I don't know.
Like
I mean, I could Google.
brace?
That would be crazy if he wasn't performing because he just broke
Or
his
he could
nose.
do, is it Freddy where he has that like fucking like mask on his face or
The
whatever?
ski
Or he
mask?
looks like a
Yeah.
goalie or whatever.
Or like, you know, like Rip
Halloween edition.
Hamilton was a basketball player who always had a face like it was just over his eyes and his nose. So that might be a look. Who knows?
Is Dylan Efron famous for anything other than being Zac Efron's brother?
No.
I
So
don't
he's
think
on
so. I
Dancing
mean,
with the
I'm going to just
Stars
say it.
for
Yeah. But I
Well,
think they've
here's
done
the
some
thing.
things together.
Yeah, like they have a I think nature documentary or docu series or something where they travel and they go on adventures. But I think he got
Exactly.
there because of his brother.
And what I would do if my brother could get us that gig. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're just
that's
out in the
true.
woods.
I
Like, what the
mean,
fuck?
Yeah.
Chelsea,
I'm
you need to
not
call him. Your brother Joe
And
is
just
out there doing shit.
Joe Burrow, you're so right. I'll just be like, bro, get
Joe
me out
looking like
there.
Conrad Fisher
Get
here
me
on
in
the
the
sidelines.
game. Let me just sub in one.
Yeah.
You know,
Chelsea
he's
Burrell
not.
on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, Joe is not playing right now, so you know he might have some free time to film some other things. So
He's in his
This
he's
is
in
the
his
official pitch. Would you like to go in the woods together?
That's crazy.
As
into the woods.
siblings.
As sib-
All right, I think it's time to wrap it up. Here's a fun one. I'm gonna know. I loved and I'm obsessed with the story, but the villains
I need
aren't
more
vanishing
details.
in real life either. So, despite rumors claiming Disney parks would retire characters like the Evil Queen and Maleficent after Halloween, or they would only make their appearances during Halloween, Disney has officially debunked the drama. A spokesperson confirmed that villains will continue to appear year round and even teased plans for a dedicated villain themed land at Walt Disney World. So, rest easy, Disney fans. Your favorite baddies aren't going anywhere. In fact, they might be getting their own lair. Honestly, what
I'm
I
here
would
for
give
it.
to get read by the Evil Queen. There was a video that went viral of her just like calling people out, and I'm like, you know what?
I love
She
it.
is my lady. I love her.
I feel like as I get older, I relate more to the
To
villains.
the villains.
And I'm like,
100%.
I honestly feel like I'm in my villain era, so I support this.
I've never not been, but that's it for our huddle.
I have, okay? People pleasing perfection background I have. Now I'm like, "Fuck this shit."
The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Give it a read. What a huddle, Wahida. That was amazing. I'm going to move us to our story, which I'm calling GMA to PDA. And it's kind of a crazy story. So if you're wondering why today we're talking about two previous TV anchors are suddenly podcasting about their love life, we're going to give you the scoop because Arison, I think in our group chat when we talked about this story, you had no idea what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I completely forgot. But if we just want to kind of go back into the recess of our brains, TJ Holmes and Amy Robach Botch. I'm going to call her Batch for this. Bach, whatever.
Robach?
They were two hosts on Good Morning America 3. Didn't know it existed until yesterday. A daytime spinoff from Good Morning America. They had some tea a while ago. And it's going to bring us up to the current moment today, if you can believe. So their off-screen relationship made headlines when paparazzi photos of them were revealed to be romantically involved while they were both married. Is this ringing any bells, Arisan?
Now it is. I feel like we
Now-
covered this last season when that happened, right?
We probably put
No,
it in
it
the
happened
highlights. I don't
a
think we did
while
the
ago.
story though.
No, we didn't.
Oh
Yeah.
no, you're total. And I should know that because I wrote the rest of this. We didn't cover it. Sorry, fans. Anyways, the paparazzi photos went of them. The internet lost its goddamn mind. ABC hit pause and the media frenzy began. So I think it's worthwhile to rewind through this timeline till today. So back in 2020, Holmes and Robach, Batch, co-anchored Good Morning America, What You Need to Know. People may say their banter was breezy. Their chemistry was electric. And apparently, it wasn't just for the frickin' cameras. In late 2022, so before this podcast ever existed, photos surfaced of the two of them holding hands getting cozy in New York. And the twist was that Robach was married to actor Andrew Shue and Holmes was married to an attorney, Marilee Fiebig. I don't know. Cue the headlines, the memes, and I think where I was at, probably the moral debates about this. And then that was kind of, 2022 for them. Then I'll say 2023, I'm just going to call it, it was not their year. ABC pulled them from the show and then later confirmed that they would not be returning. The network, I think, kind of was hoping that it'd cool down the controversy, but the story just kept heating up. Later in 2023, both Holmes and Robach confirmed their divorces. Opinion was split. Some people were saying it was romantic. Other people were saying it was scandalous. But either way, this is where it gets really crazy for me. They leaned into the drama and launched a podcast of their own.
Oh, I didn't know that. What?
I did not know this.
I didn't know that either.
I'm kind of shook. I'm happy I didn't know about it, to be honest. Then in late 2023, that podcast launched, and apparently what they're saying is the podcast became a platform of transparency, therapy, and I think some shade. They addressed the backlash and joked about being the most Googled couple of 2022 and then shared their side of the story. So think of it as Good Morning America, the unfiltered remix, if you will. Again, I'm glad that I didn't hear about this podcast, but it just brings us to the current moment. So that was 2023. Apparently, they've been releasing episodes. What are you thinking, Arison? Pause.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like what we covered maybe in a highlight or what I know about it didn't their exes get together too?
Yes, they did. Their exes got together.
Okay.
And
'Cause I
are
feel like
currently together.
And they're all still currently together.
Yes. I think
Okay,
so.
it makes more sense for this next part that's coming because I still
Okay.
think it's insane. So I guess in a very recent podcast, they announced to everybody that they're now engaged. So the two hosts that were caught together, divorced their people, are now engaged. And they shared it on their podcast saying that they wanted to be the first to talk about it after they learned the lesson the hard way last time of not sharing that. So, okay. Apparently, they celebrated with a private party, reportedly planning a destination wedding in 2026. And in more info that I still don't think that we need to know, apparently they're inviting their exes to the wedding.
Your
Whoa.
poor exes, like, they're
Yeah,
getting
But they're
so
dragged through all
but they're
this shit.
together.
but they're together, so that does add a new element to it. So
That's
that all happened, like, this recent piece just all happened in the last 2 weeks. I personally am feeling very conflicted about this. I'm, like, on one hand, I'm like, "Okay, you guys did something fucked up. You committed, you went through the divorces, you're, like, writing your own future story and just whatever. Everyone makes mistakes, they should be able to do that." On the other hand, I'm just like, "Do we need to know about that, though? Like, is a podcast necessary for us to know all of that information?" I realize these people need to make money, and maybe this story is making money for them.
Mm.
So, okay. But I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if we need to know any of this. So it leaves me with 2 follow-up questions for you two. The first of which is, would you ever invite an ex to your wedding?
Hella no. Hella no.
No, I don't think so. Unless I'm trying to be a shady bitch, but as of right
I
now, there's nobody I would want to invite to
But
my
also,
wedding.
I'm curious to see, like, no, I wouldn't. No, you're in my past for a reason. We're
For a
not,
reason.
Yeah.
yeah, you're not coming into my next chapter or being a part of
Yeah.
that.
And
But
I wouldn't want my partner to invite their ex. I'd be
yeah,
like,
No.
yeah. So
"Eh."
I mean, it all depends, right? I guess they're all under some sort of understanding, but it's a very interesting like circumstance because like their exes are together, and I'm like, so are you guys saying you're
It's like, happy
okay with
With
how that
this?
came to be? But I guess all that to say, don't let your partner get in the way of your finding your soulmate. It's just the lesson here.
The let them theory. Don't let them get in the
Don't
way.
let them. Fuck.
Also, your exes are like, is that like trauma bonding? Like, I have questions. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they know each other. That's where I was like, huh, that's interesting. And then sometimes with this stuff, I'm like, are you just saying all that stuff for optics? To be like, they're just, seems like they're just trying really hard not to be the villain anymore. To like
Yeah.
get their
Well,
careers back.
I mean, Disney's letting villains back into.
I know.
Exactly.
I know. I
So,
was just talking villain
yeah.
era. So maybe like, who am I to say?
I think maybe the globe is in a villain era moment. Like
Maybe.
I feel that energy in all
Yeah.
senses. Okay, sorry. And
Yeah.
then second question for both of you is, would you announce your engagement publicly after you were publicly caught cheating with that person?
I feel like they kind of get off on this. Like they are getting off on the fact that people
They want to be
know.
caught.
And that they are the most like researched or like Googled couple. Like this is
It's
something that they
okay.
just both really want. They want to be in the limelight. They want to
They want
have
to
it
be
be
famous
known.
for cheating. You know what I
Feels
mean?
like a Taylor Swift song, if I'm gonna
Or
be.
they want to be famous and this is how they're famous. So they're gonna ride that wave.
I'm waiting for the TV executive to come in and like write the like docuseries, like to write like a drama
But
about this.
here's my thing, because
Say
I
it.
mean, we're talking about it, but this is like C-level celebrity.
100%.
Like they were on Good Morning America 3.
The
Like
third hour. The third
the
hour.
third hour. Like it just feels crazy. Like I don't even know I couldn't even tell you their names without looking at the notes right now. Like they're
TJ, Amy.
I don't
Well,
care.
Harrison, you also
And
don't
so I'm
watch
like,
TV.
well, yes, but do you
Because
guys
folks
watch
who watch, no,
they
like, I
okay.
mean, if you're watching the
Occasionally I'll
morning
dip a
news,
toe in there. Yeah.
yeah, it
I
just,
just
like
were
runs
they
into it.
ever famous enough for them, like, it just feels like they're desperate not to be not in that they don't wanna be out of the spotlight, and so why
Yeah.
That's
wouldn't
how it
you
does
announce
feel.
it? Because we didn't even remember you guys didn't even remember
I
these
didn't.
people until they announced this. So for me, I'm like, "Oh, maybe they're perfect for each other, and this is why they found each other, and
Yeah,
this is why they
exactly.
started a podcast, and
Yes.
I can't wait." This is really fucked up to say. What if they cheated again with their exes and it
Back.
was
Like
they
they went
went
full
back. They went full
circle.
circle. Like,
Oh
that's
my
still a
God,
possibility
that
in
would
my
be
mind.
Who's to know
hilarious.
what they're not sharing
Or
with us in
what
this
if it's
current
all
moment?
4 of them are just together? You
That's what
know?
I'm
That's
insinuating.
fine.
Like,
No one's
yeah.
yucking their yum, but dang,
Yeah.
just what is all this drama for?
That
Then
I will just
go
say that is
be.
something we don't need. Yeah, we don't need
Yeah,
that. They don't need to share that with us. They
no,
don't need
like
that.
just be then. But I will say,
Just
I think there's that one show that Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer
yes,
Aniston. What is it
the
called?
Morning show.
The morning show.
I would not be surprised. I would love for them to pick up this story in
Ooh,
some way, shape, or form and like
Yes,
infuse it into what's currently happening in the show.
yes,
Because
I
I
see that
feel like
happening.
this is probably one of the bigger headlines to come out of
morning
Good
talk
Morning
shows.
America.
morning television in
Same.
ever.
Well, no, there was
Oh,
Matt
the Katie.
Lauer.
Oh yes, that.
Sassy.
What were you going to
It's
say
been a
about
while.
Katy Perry?
I was like, wait,
No,
Kate?
not Katie Couric.
Katie Couric.
What was the drama
There
with
was
her?
nothing. There was no drama with her. I think I just recalled her name because of Matt Lauer. They worked together for a long
Yeah.
time.
Matt Lauer,
She
I
was
think, was the
Jennifer
last
Aniston, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
big
in that show. So I
drama.
don't know. The only thing I'll end on is like if I was retired and I don't know, part of my routine was turning on and watching this would be scandalous to me. That like my two little people on Good Morning America 3 are sleeping with each other.
Who needs
Maybe it's because
sleepovers after that at 7 o'clock?
I'm somehow team Today Show, and so I know the Today Show people more, and maybe I
Yeah.
would feel more
You
connected
feel
if
like
it
their
was
values
like
are higher. The bar is higher for the Today Show.
a little
Well,
bit, only because I know their names.
Isn't that where Matt Lauer's from?
I know.
Yeah. Well,
But-
so
Yeah.
GMA needed their time in the limelight. You know what I mean? Like the Today
Yes.
Show had their whole
It's
scandal
true.
debacle.
Oh, that's it. GMA, actually, they're
I think
still on
you-
GMA's payroll, and we don't know it. They're just like actually feeding things.
I was gonna say, I think you just cracked the code, Wahida. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great way to wrap for today because just my thought moment. Let us know what stories you want us to feature for future episodes in the comments on YouTube.
And don't forget to hit follow and subscribe to our show on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all the latest sport and society stories.
And please, please, please rate the pod. But in the meantime, stay sharp, stay sassy, and we'll catch you next time.